Stupid Garbage Podcast.
Oh, I like that.
Let's do it to it. And away we go. I think that's better.
Okay.
We'll see. How you doing?
Go ahead. I'm okay.
Okay.
So, the way I got really into the Jeremy Epstein... Well, I didn't get into it. I just watched all of it in
You
one
called
sitting.
him Jeremy Epstein.
God damn it!
Again, Jessica.
Jeffrey.
You didn't get really into anything.
I don't like the name Jeffrey.
That's too bad.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You didn't get to pick it.
God damn. Okay. Let's re-record this podcast from the top.
I'll just take it out and post.
Okay.
I'll edit it all out.
He won't. So basically, I watched
Don't
the
tell me.
Jeffrey Epstein documentary all in one sitting yesterday. I got really into it, just not into remembering his name, I guess. But obviously, this documentary was a very serious expose on his child molestation. But what I took from it was that Palm Beach, Florida, has beautiful homes.
Okay.
So
yeah, that's kind of a well-known fact, sure.
Okay, but I didn't know that, or I didn't really... It never, occurred to me that, because when we went, I always love houses, and as you know, I like to look at houses from the outside all the time, when we're driving or walking.
As opposed to from the inside, sure.
Well, from the inside as in, what your mom does, where she says it's fun for her
She
to,
is a notorious breaking and entering... Hold on.
No, please.
There's a motorcycle outside. It's my mom. So, she's notorious for her B&Es around the neighborhood.
Yeah, so, she was like, yeah, I love to, go on Zillow and look at houses, and I was like, I'm so obsessed with houses, but it's never occurred to me to just go on Zillow in my free time and look at the interior of homes. But, on Pinterest, I follow a couple, I have a couple boards that are, beautiful homes that I, when I stumble across a nice house, I'll save it, but, I watched this, Florida documentary. Well, sorry.
I'm screaming right now.
Sorry. I watched this Jeffrey Epstein documentary.
You watched this Florida documentary? Did you watch the documentary? Because I'm starting to think that you did not.
Oh, my God.
That you maybe saw the trailer on Netflix while it was muted.
Yeah. One of their
and
points...
scanned the title.
One of their points was that Jeffrey purposely bought a home in Palm Beach, Florida, because it was, such a... what word did they use? It was a very exclusive community, and no one got in each other's business. It was kind of a don't ask, don't tell isn't the right thing to say, but it was that where it's shady shit was going on, and people are I don't want to know. Don't tell me. I'm not going to ask about it. Whatever. But when they were showing how private all the homes were, they were scanning. Why are you making that face?
No, go ahead.
Okay. They were scanning the streets and showing you what the homes looked like. And I was like, oh shit, I should look up the home. So I waited until this morning, and I spent the entire morning Googling real estate available in Palm Beach, Florida.
How'd that go?
It was so inspirational. I mean, it's interesting because I feel in my brain, I'm really good at design. And then our home looks like a trash heap. But I also think that's because I'm cheap and I have not bought a single piece of furniture. I only will get free furniture from other people. So... And also, I don't predict that we're going to stay in this apartment forever, so I don't want to, do a whole interior design thing for a temporary apartment. But it's crazy how difficult it is to make a home look really nice, I think. Why are you making these faces?
I'm listening to you.
Okay. Well, you look really disgusted.
No, I'm not disgusted.
Okay. So it was interesting, and then I kind of was like, wait a second, my great aunt was one of her homes were absolutely gorgeous, and I asked my mom for her addresses so I could look those up. So I've just been on a tear of nice houses, and my mom was like, why, do you want to buy it? I was like, yes.
Ha 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 ha.
I think the one that is in our area is selling for $2 million right now.
Cool.
I was like, I could afford that. Why not?
For sure. Why not? What's stopping you?
So anyway, that's what I've been up to all morning. My lizard has been asleep, so I haven't been able to play with him, and my brother came over. We're babysitting his lizard today, which is exciting. I don't think we've talked about the fact that I bullied him into...
It is not exciting. You're mistaken.
I bullied my brother into adopting a lizard.
I think you mentioned that.
3 days ago. And he's been acclimating, and the poor thing, he didn't realize that baby lizards needed to eat 3 times a day. So and they only eat live food, so he's been acclimating to having live bugs in his home and having an animal that he needs to tend to so often. So that's been fun. Anyway, what do you have? Because it seems like you're just on your computer.
So I've been looking at, there apparently, I thought there were 200 or 300. There are about 900 Pokemon. And I've been looking at them all, just one after the other. And some of these are just really shockingly stupid. For example, let's start with you, Jess. Do you have a favorite Pokemon?
I liked Ninetales.
Okay.
I believe, and then Charmander was a cutie.
So do you...
I always liked the lizards.
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
Yeah, I think Charmander or Ninetales.
Let me find Ninetales for you.
I also liked
On this
Persia.
enormous list. Alright, well, you gotta... Okay, let's start with Persia.
I don't think... I wouldn't...
It's called Persian, not
Whatever.
Persia.
Well...
It's evolved from Meowth. It is...
She was like the villain.
Do you know what species it is? Of course you don't. It is...
Like a mountain lion.
Well, yeah, but it says here, it's a classy cat species.
Okay.
Meowth is a scratch cat Pokemon, whereas Persian is a classy cat species. Although its fur has many admirers, it is tough to raise as a pet because of its fickle meanness.
Sure. That's why I like her.
Every single new generation of games, Red and Blue...
Can I see a picture of Persia?
Sure,
Persian?
It looks...
It's beautiful.
Yeah, like kind of like a big cat. It every new iteration of these games, Red and Blue, and then Yellow, and then Gold, and Silver, and then Crystal, all have their own descriptors of the Pokemon. I guess in the Pokedex, so you can see these are all different descriptors. Jessica, so I don't really give a shit about this one, but do you just like cats, or do you give a shit about the Pokemon?
You know I like cats.
Well, no, I know, but I'm saying in picking, some of them can,
No, obviously...
shoot electricity out of their heads. Or...
Okay, if I'm picking a Pokemon just based off of, like, power, I'm gonna pick Mewtwo, obviously.
God.
I mean, are you stupid?
You're a hack. I can't find Ninetales.
I'm not a hack. Just Google it, idiot.
No, I got this list up,
Do
man.
Control F. Are you stupid?
My theory is that...
She evolved from Eevee, so that might help.
No, she
you.
didn't. No,
Why are you saying that?
Because I know that that's not right.
I think you're wrong.
Ninetales, evolved from Vulpix. Suck my cock.
Lol.
Fox Pokemon.
I like Vulpix, too. Isn't it like Vulpix is the yellow one, and then there's a blue one, and then it's Ninetales?
No, that's Eevee.
Who does Eevee...
Once again, that is Eevee. This
That's
is Vulpix.
That's Eevee.
Nope. Nope.
Who's
Jessica,
Eevee?
nope.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And then this...
That's exactly who I was picturing who Ninetales evolved from.
This is Ninetales.
Yeah, look at that beautiful, beautiful tail situation.
Yes,
I don't
it's
know.
Ninetales. Jessica.
I know, but it's just like a big thump in the back of her, so I think she's beautiful.
So, yeah, so anyway...
I don't think she's good, I just think she's pretty.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that, but...
Can you show me Eevee then? Oh, Eevee's like a teeny tiny fox, right?
Very smart and very vengeful.
Ooh, perfect.
Grabbing one of its many tails could result in a 1,000-year curse.
Oh, I love her.
Alright, I don't know about that. But yeah, Eevee looks like it's an evolution Pokemon because it can evolve into a bunch of different things. It looks like this.
Yeah, okay.
So anyway, my point was I don't really give a shit about Pokemon in general. I thought there were a few hundred of them, and there are almost 1,000 of them. And so I've been looking through them, and some of them, I mean, my God, some of them are so, it's a children's game and whatever, but some of them are so goddamn stupid. Like, there's one called Zigzagoon. I don't know what to do with a lot of these. Some of them are interesting because there's one called Azolf, which to me
Did
doesn't...
he lead the Zotzies?
See, there's already a Z in the word Nazi.
So?
Okay, you're right. And his name wasn't Anolf. No, you're right. That's fine. You're right. Anolf Hitler. So, yeah, I'm just looking.
You could have
through
just
these,
appreciated the joke.
Yeah,
or the fact that I finally try to be funny
you did a good job.
and you just shut me down.
No. There's a Pokemon named Azolf.
Of the Zotzies.
There you go.
Azolf
It's
Zittler.
your favorite. Your favorite board game. Yahtzee. So
Oh.
there's one called Chingling.
Actually, I had Pokemon Yahtzee as a kid.
What?
Yeah. And the slime guy was the...
Muck.
No.
Okay.
I don't think his name was Muck.
Muck.
No.
Okay.
He was pink. And
Purple.
he...
Oh, you mean Ditto?
Yes!
Okay. The slime guy.
Yeah. He was the one, he was like the free, like you could make him be whatever you want.
Sure.
And then the rest of them were like specific Pokemon.
I don't think that's how Yahtzee works.
You know what? I don't know, but that's
you just roll dice.
Yeah, you roll dice, but they're all Pokemon. They're not
Sure.
numbers.
There's not... Alright, whatever. I don't care. Yeah, that maybe... I don't know. There's one called Stunky, and it's a skunk, and it has an ass
Can
for
I
a
see
face.
him?
Number 434. You're not going to like
an
him.
ass for a face.
I mean, he has an ass
Oh.
for a face. And then he,
that's disappointing.
He's a skunk. Yeah, he's
He kind of looks like the what's it called? He's in the art style. I feel like of
Garfield.
No,
He evolves into.
it's not Studio Ghibli, is it?
No.
Who is-
Skuntank.
What do you mean? No, you don't even know what I'm talking
You don't know what you're talking about.
about. Who made Spirited Away?
Yeah.
And Kiki.
Yep.
That's exactly what I was talking about.
Okay, well, it looks nothing like that. So
It does. It looks exactly like that to your reader.
Jessica's crazy. There's one called. I'm gonna ask you to guess what you think this Pokemon does or looks like. Okay, it's called Timburr. Timburr.
I would guess he's a log.
He is not a log. He's a fighting Pokemon. This species is muscular Pokemon, but
is he smoky?
No, he carries a log.
Okay,
He
that's close.
Kind of looks like.
Is he green?
No, he kind of looks like. Wood is usually not green.
Oh, he looks like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, like a rodent, or he looks like Rocky from Rocky and Bullwinkle, and he just has a log, right? And he evolves into. It fights by swinging a piece of lumber around.
Is he a lumberjack?
No, he just swings the lumber around. These Pokemon appear at building sites to help out with construction. I guess they're probably supposed to be modeled after beavers. I don't know.
That's cute.
Yeah. So, it evolves into something called Girder. I'm going to ask you to guess what you think Girder is.
Is he swollen and pussy?
No. Why would you think that?
Isn't that what GERD is?
GERD? No, you're thinking of gout.
Oh, yeah.
GERD is something that pregnant women get. It's
what your brother
heartburn.
had.
Yeah, Gregory thinks he has GERD. No, he swings around a girder.
I don't know what that is.
Man, come on, like an I-beam. A metal beam.
I've never worked in construction.
So this Pokemon is so muscular and strongly built that even a group of wrestlers could not make it budge an inch. I don't know who... I think these are written by children, I'm pretty sure.
These are written by... I mean, maybe it's a fetish thing.
And then... Oh, for sure.
He's so muscular.
And then that evolves into Conkeldurr.
Conkeldurr? That's like what you and I say, like... I add the word "dur" to random words.
Yeah. So, this one doesn't look particularly muscular. He looks geriatric.
Okay.
Which is...
He looks like Splinter.
A little bit, and they use concrete pillars as walking canes, and they know moves that enable them to swing the pillars freely in battle. Now, I'm not a scientist, but I would think that you don't need to know a move to swing a pillar around.
Tactfully.
That's first of all not the word you're looking for, but second of all, even so, it's just swing it around.
Tactically?
Yeah, there you go. That's better.
Okay.
Tactfully is not. It's polite.
Yeah.
Without ruffling any feathers. There's one that I thought you would really like. It's called Embor. It basically looks like a pig on its hind legs.
Why would I like that?
And I don't know. It's
You're
so stupid.
more into pigs.
And it can throw a fire punch by setting its fists on fire with its fiery chin. So you read all of these.
With the hairs of my chin.
Well, he has a beard made of fire, apparently.
Let me see him.
Yeah. So you read these stupid fucking descriptions, and they're usually two sentences where it says...
He's a lot bigger and badder than I expected.
You know, it can spray poison that can melt your face off. Its range is 200 feet. That's usually the description. It's one thing and then another thing about what this Pokemon can do. It can punch fire and swing these concrete pillars, whatever. This one is it can throw a fire punch by setting its fists on fire with its fiery chin. It cares deeply about its friends.
Aww.
I don't know.
He's a buddy.
I don't know what the fuck that has to do with keeping him as a Pokemon.
Do you remember the Pokemon movie? I don't know how many Pokemon movies there have been.
Oh, 13,000?
There was like one Pokemon, the one with Mewtwo, where he invites everyone to a dinner party.
Yep.
That was...
That's an interesting way of describing it. Pokemon Clue. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it was so... First of all, I loved that movie so much. It was so dark, though, where it was like... Spoiler alert.
That's fine.
He basically sets up this... I mean, everyone who's listening has probably seen it or heard of it. Anyway.
And if not, whatever.
Yeah. But he basically, like, invites everyone to a dinner party, and then he's like, I've created, like, evil versions of all your Pokemon, and your Pokemon have to fight these evil versions. And, like, it's so sad because I think the evil versions, like, beat the shit out of the good Pokemon. And, it, like, you get to watch them be... Like Pikachu, like, he's... Like, tears are streaming down his face as he takes these punches and he refuses to fight his counterpart. It's just... It's so sad. And you're just watching all of these, like, sweet little baby animals get their heads bashed in. And it's... I didn't like it.
So there's one that
But the rest of it was really a cool movie.
Yeah, there's one called Mein Fu, and I think it evolves into Mein Kampf, but I'm trying to find it. Hold on. Where is it? Mein Fu and Mein Shao. I was close. And there's one that I think you would like called...
Mein Frau.
Called Sandile. They live buried in the sands of the desert. The sun-warmed sands prevent their body temperature from dropping. And it looks...
Is it a lizard?
Like this.
Oh, Peaches! He looks like Peaches.
Yeah.
Well, he looks like a species of skink, but not Peaches.
It's just like
What
Peaches.
a sweetie!
So some of these, there's one of them
Peaches doesn't
that's...
have stripes.
There's one of them that's nose-themed or something.
Ew.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
It's called Probopass, like proboscis. And it looks like Groucho Marx with the nose and the mustache. And they're all so
Or
stupid.
the
I don't know who's
Easter
making these.
heads.
Yeah, Easter Island heads. It evolves from one called Nose Pass, which is not clever. And this one confused me because I read it said Nose Pass's magnetic nose is always pointed to the north. If two of these Pokemon meet, they cannot turn their faces to each other when they are close because their magnetic noses repel each other.
Okay.
Wouldn't their magnetic noses always be pointing north? How could they face each other?
Yep.
How would that be possible?
That's a good point.
So this...
I don't care, to be honest.
I saw a theory that all these Pokedex... Because some of them say, oh, this crocodile Pokemon, it's, 4 feet long and 100 pounds. Its jaws are so fast or so powerful it can crush a car or, it can run faster than the speed of sound or whatever. That all these Pokedex entries have been written by children that have been sent out. That's the premise of the game and the show is that whoever, Professor Elm, whatever his name is, sends out you as a 10-year-old child to go catalog Pokemon.
Cute.
So that he can fuck your mom, probably. But
Stop it.
So all of these entries are just written by children who don't know anything about even basic biology or physics. That's my theory.
Yeah, it's probably like a creative team that just doesn't care about whether or not...
Yeah, I mean, I think they probably spend most of the time programming the game, and then they have to make these stupid goddamn... I mean, they're up to 900. There's one called Trubbish.
Yeah, how creative can you be?
A garbage bag, and it is not an exaggeration. It's a garbage bag.
Oh, he's a cutie.
And then his species is Trash Bag Pokemon.
Oh.
And he evolves into Garbodor, which is a trash heap Pokemon.
It does get a little unnecessary.
Yeah, kind of hackneyed.
Yeah, like, I think the first, I think...
There's one called Clink, and then it evolves into Clang, and then that evolves into Clink Clang.
Yikes. I think that
What the fuck is
you
this?
need, up to 50.
Yeah, I mean...
You have, your Squirtle, your Charmander, your Bulbasaur, your Pikachu, your Meowth, and then all of their kind of evolutions. I think in my brain I could name maybe 50 Pokemon.
There's one called Litwick. Looks like a candle.
Thank you.
Yeah. It evolves...
How many Pokemon do you think you can name?
Into... maybe 100. It evolves
Really?
into Lampent, which looks like a lamp. And then that evolves... It's a lamp Pokemon. And then that evolves into Chandelure, which is a luring Pokemon, but it's shaped like a chandelier.
That looks like a Kingdom Hearts character.
This shit is retarded.
It's pretty fucking terrible.
It absorbs a spirit, which it then burns. By waving the flames on its arms, it puts its foes into a hypnotic trance. I don't know.
Okay, I like that. That's pretty metal.
There's one called Goth something.
Goth?
Yeah, Gothitel or something.
Get him. Pull him up.
Jamie, pull it up. Let me see. Flabby Bee? No, that's not it. Flab Bebe? What are you? Alright, let me find you. Gothita, Gotharita, and Gothitel.
Oh god, show me Gothitelle.
All right.
Well, show me any of them, but...
Well, you're not gonna like Gothita because looks like this.
Oh my god.
She
it's
looks
like
a horror. She looks like a 13-year-old who just went to Hot Topic for the first time.
Yeah, what's it called?
Child prostitute.
No, it's like the Japanese style, Harajuku style?
Kabuki?
No.
What's Harajuku?
I don't know. That's like the fashion sense of Japanese rip-offs, basically.
I don't know. And then that evolves into Gotharita, which...
Oh, are they all like that? No, they're people.
looks like a child model, yeah. And then
this is so sad. I expected it to just be like a gothic
into
looking...
Gothitelle.
It's just Japanese looking goth women.
Yeah.
That's sad. That's really disappointing. I expected better. And they're not even goth. They're just wearing black.
Yeah. Starry
But they have
skies
bows on
thousands
them.
of light years away are visible in the space distorted by their intense psychic power. I don't know what that means.
Goths are psychic.
They can see trainers' lifespans. I don't like that at all.
Why is that
Apparently,
relevant?
yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
You're not fighting the trainers, and also...
I don't know. I read one of these that said, because I was trying to find funny ones, and I was looking and I found one that said, it's a crocodile type Pokemon, and its favorite prey is some other Pokemon. I didn't know Pokemon ate other Pokemon. That seems kind of dark, right?
Well, they fight.
Yeah,
for
and then
a
one of
living.
them faint. Well, it's not for a living. They're animal slaves.
I know, but the
basically-
whole thing is pretty dark when you think about it. They're slave animal. Like, it's like having a pit bull fighting ring. Like, they just make dogs fight each other until one of them literally loses consciousness because it's been hurt so badly.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So I would argue...
Cockfighting, yeah.
Yeah, I would argue that this is abuse right off the bat. I don't like it.
I would say Cofagrigus? What? How do you name it that? Anyway, these are Pokemon of the new millennium, and I just don't know what to do with them.
My brother and I had a Digimon game, so I did know of a couple Digimon.
This one's called Toxtricity. Toxtricity, which Jessica thinks is a real word.
Toxicity.
Yes.
Or no, toxicity.
Toxicity is not a word. Because Jessica,
Toxid.
toxid is not a word.
Toxicity.
Toxicity.
It's like, because
Yes, acidity is a word because acid is a word. I don't say acidity because that would be gibberish.
But, whatever. Toxicity doesn't sound right.
Too bad. You were taught incorrectly.
Toxicity. The word isn't toxis, it's toxic. It should be
Sickity?
Toxics.
You're an idiot.
Toxicity. Yeah, toxicity.
There are several ice cream themed Pokemon. This one's called All Creamy. That can't be it. It's a cream Pokemon, and it's kind of shaped like a strawberry shortcake, I guess.
These are a little
like a strawberry
too
shortcake doll.
sexual for me.
Some of them are weird. This one's called Milkery.
Like, she's not sexual. She just is like, it's a woman. It's like very clearly. That's fine. It looks like a cum drop, but whatever. Okay. But the other one, the ice cream one, it looks like a little girl, which kind of weirds me out because she's also like dripping and stuff, and it's just like a little bit too pedophile-y for me.
Yeah, I don't. There are a lot of different flavors. Okay, I just guess I don't understand what Pokemon's about anymore. But NDD is what the fuck is this? I don't fucking care. So anyway, that's Pokemon. That's it. That's all I got. I just thought it was weird, and I don't understand the world anymore. But so it goes. So anyway, that's all I had for that. It took us a little bit. Let's see. I might have.
Well, you could have given more to my real estate conversation instead of just being on your computer and ignoring me.
All right, so back to Palm Beach real estate.
No, we're done. I'm just saying.
Okay, so back to Palm Beach real estate.
No, I'm done. There's nothing else to say. I would have appreciated more attention.
Where, do you know where in Palm? Because I thought it's a pretty big area, isn't it?
I think like West Palm Beach is
where
like the working class, and then Palm Beach is like they're super fucking rich.
So Johnny Epstein lived in Palm Beach.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He had a house. He owned his own island, which I thought was cool.
You told me that he was paying these child prostitutes $200.
Yep.
Which, to me, my understanding, and maybe I'm wrong, my understanding is that was a billionaire.
Yeah.
Seems like you're...
Skimping?
You're underpaying. I don't necessarily... I mean, whatever, but I'm not coming at it from.
That's the real issue here.
Yeah, well, no, I'm not saying. Yeah, exactly. That's not my point of contention. I'm not saying you need to pay them more if you're going to rape children. I'm saying if you are a pedophile and you have a pedophile, sex trafficking, child prostitution ring, you'd think you'd want to. I would think that would probably be because you said he was having sex with 3 child prostitutes a day.
Yeah, sometimes.
I would think this would be consuming your entire life and world. Again, I would think you would want to funnel the majority of your resources into maintaining and keeping clandestine this child prostitute ring. So paying them $200 does not seem like a great way to ensure that.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
He paid for their college tuition a lot of the time. He paid for them to go on trips. He paid for a lot of their education.
Go get an education so you know better than to do this.
So, well, okay. I don't know if you want to talk about this because it seemed like you didn't the other day. Okay.
I was busy.
I don't want to victim blame, but I don't really know how to say.
Especially when they're child prostitutes.
Well,
but go ahead.
I don't know how to say my opinion without sounding like I'm victim blaming.
Well, blame the victims anyway, and then we can walk it back.
Okay. So, I mean, okay. So he purposefully, I'll start with saying this to just cover my ass because to the victim's credit, can you pay attention to me?
I'm paying attention to you. I'm paying attention to you. I'm reading through notes that I took.
So, I know, but you're not listening actively. So basically, he said specifically, and the women said specifically, that he would target vulnerable women. Vulnerable girls.
Sure.
Which obviously, the vulnerable girls are less able to see what's happening. They're less able to say something. They're less able to leave, all of that fun stuff. So, I think that there were a lot of women that were in a bad way that he did manipulate, but I do, a lot of them stayed voluntarily.
Well, weren't they kids?
And they stayed for years. A lot of them were yeah, it was terrible. I had the worst first experience ever. I was molested. It was scarring. It was terrible. And I worked for him for 3 years. And they come back voluntarily. He doesn't blackmail them. He doesn't, eventually he started to, threaten the women and stuff. But, a lot of the women, after meeting him for the first day, he was okay, you did a good job. You aced the interview. Come back tomorrow. And they would come back.
Weren't they all children?
Some of them, they were all, I think they were all older than 14.
Okay.
Or 14 or up. The ones that I saw being interviewed were all 14 and up. And all of them recognized that it was wrong. Not a single one of them was yeah, it was actually a pleasant experience. It was whatever. He was really sweet about it. None of them said that.
Sure.
And a lot of the women were first of all, again, I don't mean to be an asshole and blame the victim. But if someone said, we're going to give a massage to an old guy for $200, do you want to come? I'd say no.
That's why I'm saying you have to put more money on the line.
Sure.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
What I don't understand is how I guess if let's say you're 13 or 14, $200 probably seems.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
And I
don't know. I had a job when I was 13, so maybe not. But
a lot of these women also were in abusive households.
Sure.
So they were my only way to leave my current life, is to get enough money to move out. Or get enough money to buy a car and drive until whatever.
You got a fast car. Jeffrey Epstein molest these kids.
Yeah. So, so I think a lot of the women were my mom is addicted to drugs. I basically didn't have a parent to raise me. I was living on the streets. He gave me a way to live. He was my ticket out.
It's fast enough you can rape my butt.
So I understand.
I didn't write the song.
I understand why a woman like that.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know what just happened.
Okay.
I understand why that girl would have stayed with him, but also like what you said, you can just get a real job, work at McDonald's.
Pays all our bills. It's fucking Jeffrey Epstein. So So what I don't understand, because if he's paying them, I would assume he pays their college tuition and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Takes them after he, like you said, they've been working for him for 3 years.
Yeah.
I would think that that's not really on the table to start. But if you're 16, I don't know how $200 really entices you
That's what I'm
strongly.
saying. Yeah. And
you get a minimum wage job and work 3 days. Yeah.
I agree with that, and I also, like, a lot of women were like, oh, he invited me to go on a trip with him to Spain, and, you know, obviously I was so grateful, and that seemed like such a good opportunity, and then he raped me on the trip, and I was like, that's terrible, that's horrible, but you're agreeing to go with a strange man on a trip abroad, alone. Like, I don't mean to be rude, but why would you say yes to that?
What did you think he was expecting?
Yeah, like a lot of, like, he would invite
least.
women to his private island, and then they were like, oh, it turns out that was, like, an abuse island where he would traffic us to other men.
Sure.
And I was like, again, like, don't accept, like, they're like, all of these women were like, oh, this wasn't my world, I didn't understand, like, I was just so grateful to be involved. And I was like, no, that should be a red flag to you. You should see that and say, like, this isn't normal.
I don't know if you're 14. I don't know if you can necessarily...
I would absolutely have thought that was a red flag. And he didn't offer... Like, I think the women that he took with him were a little bit older, that he took to, like, the island. Like, one of the women that... I think the only women that they said 100% was there who, like, told stories about being there was 17 when she was brought there.
Woman.
What?
Woman. Singular.
That's what I said.
You said women.
I said of all the women.
You said the only women.
Okay. The only woman that actually, like, spoke on the documentary, I believe, because I don't remember. I think, actually, no, there was another woman that was on the island too.
Women.
But
two now.
I think she was also older. Like, I think she was also in her late teens. Or early 20s.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess it depends. But yeah, I don't know. So that's, to me...
Still, though, I don't care how old you are. You know that that's wrong.
Well, since we're doing the rape apologist thing, my understanding of... to pivot a little bit, I don't mean to steamroll you.
No, it's fine. I am really not speaking
it's fine.
Good things.
It's okay. It's fine. No good, bad time, word time. So
yeah, I mean, just let me defend myself later, I guess.
Yeah,
I'll try to circle back.
Whatever. So my understanding, and I might have only read one article out of 50, or I might have an incomplete or completely malinformed understanding of the situation, but my understanding of the Louis C.K. scandal,
okay,
right, that whatever came to light 2 years ago, whenever the fuck it was that he, a moderately successful comedian, you know, who was doing this comedy festival and maybe had a writing job on Everybody Hates Chris or something, I don't remember. So Louis C.K.
Everybody Hates Chris.
Yeah, so Louis C.K., I think he wrote for that show. So
whatever.
A moderately successful comedian in his, I want to say 30s, they went to the show, right? They performed at the show. It's a comedy festival. It's a dozen comedians performing.
Yep.
He goes to the show, he performs, and then after the show, let's say midnight, he invites two women up to his hotel room to get drinks. They're drinking at the bar, and he says, do you want to bring this up to my hotel room, right?
Yep.
And then these are not strict... And people say, oh, well, he was, you know, it's a hard business, and he had a position of power over us. But again, my understanding is that they were performing at the same comedy festival. So I don't know how much higher up he could have been.
I did not...
They were comedians who were also again, from what I have been told or heard, they were performing, all of them, at the same comedy festival.
I did not read anything.
So I don't know.
That. I only read that they were, like, quote unquote normal.
But I'm just saying, no, they were comedians, and that's, I think, because if you're a comic, I don't know how much, you can't really say that you have professional power over someone who's not a comedian.
Although, well, true, but if someone is, like, a comedian, like an intern is going to be...
No. These were one of them was Sarah Silverman, or, you know, these were...
No, I know. Sarah Silverman gave her own testimony, but if there was another woman that was, like, also a established comedian, but wasn't as famous as Louis.
He wasn't famous. This was, like, 2003. He wasn't famous until... Louis C.K. wasn't famous until probably 2009.
He was hanging out with Sarah Silverman, and she was super famous then.
She was more famous than he was.
Yeah, but he still... If he was getting in the circle of Sarah Silverman, I'm assuming...
He was getting in the circle of Sarah Silverman by doing these shows that these other women were also doing.
Okay,
they were all in the same circle. That's my point. They were all doing the same shows. They're performing at the same venues, at the same
Maybe
shows.
they felt like he was more famous than they were, or
he
more...
wasn't... So anyway, no. So, Louis C.K., let's say he's 30 years old, invites these women who are, I think, around the same age, let's say 28, up to his hotel room for drinks, and then they go upstairs and he says, can I jerk off in front of you?
Yeah.
And they either say yes and he does it, or they say no and he says okay.
Yeah.
And they leave.
Yeah.
I don't understand how that's a problem.
I 100% agree.
If that's not what happened, fine.
Yeah.
If he put a pill in someone's drink and dragged them off and fucked them, fine.
Yeah.
But if that's, of all the stuff I've heard and read, that's exactly what happened.
Sarah Silverman's testimony, I think, to me was super, super exactly how I would reply to it. Like, she was like, he was a friend. He asked me if he could jerk off in front of me. I was curious. I said, sure, whatever. And then he did it, and then I went home. Like, it was...
Right.
To me, that's, like, the most innocent thing. Like,
I don't know how you can make a sexual advance any more innocuous than that.
Like,
unless you're proposing that a man wanting to have sex with a woman should be a crime.
I think, like, okay, you know the way, not to divulge too much about my own life, but a similar situation happened to me.
Do I know that?
Yeah, where someone, like, asked to jerk off in front of me, and I said it was okay.
Sure.
And I thought that it would be one way, and then when What?
Did you meet Louis C.K.?
I thought that it was going to be, like, one way, but it ended up... And he was fine. Like, he asked for consent. I gave him consent. Nothing was weird or wrong. But then afterwards, I felt gross about it.
Sure.
But I would never say I was raped or I was
you
assaulted. Like, it just was kind of like...
Just saw something that made you feel gross.
Yeah, and then I was like, ooh, not going to do that again. And, like, that's where it should end. And if this guy had been famous, I'd be like, LOL, now I have a little story to keep in my brain. Like, haha.
You would say LOL.
Yeah.
Most people laugh.
But, yeah, well, I don't.
Okay.
So, because it's not really that funny. I would just be like, LOL.
Ha
It's like, yeah, exactly. Like, I'm uncomfortable. But I think being in an uncomfortable... Like, a lot of people that have one-night stands get in uncomfortable sexual situations. Like, it's not... Some guy could be like, oh, I like choking women, and you could be like, ooh, I don't like that, or whatever. Like, it's not... Everything isn't rainbows and butterflies, and I feel like the fact that it was turned into a sexual assault thing kind of made me upset.
Yeah.
Because I agree with you. It was innocuous. It was fine.
Right. So my
and especially if what you're saying is right, where the women were genuinely colleagues. I don't think that you should be trying to fuck your colleagues, personally.
Maybe not, but I think there's a big difference between saying we work in an office building together 5 days a week and saying we're both comedians and I see you twice a year, maybe. Like, it's not... Yeah. Calling them colleagues is not the same sort of...
And I feel like especially...
league as, you know, we both work down at the precinct.
Yeah.
No, man, you might see this person once every 10 months.
We are two people that happen to have the same career path.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I feel like, too, where it's like, how could... They're saying, like, oh, he should have known his stature and he should have known that these women would be intimidated by him. And to say, like, literally rock stars have fans that come up to them and they're like, I would literally kill to fuck you right now. Like,
right.
It's not...
I don't know how you're supposed to make sure that every single person you come on to is not any sort of makes the same exact amount of money that you do and makes
exactly.
There are not a lot of people who are as famous as Louis C.K., so he's not allowed to fuck anyone. He's not also an A-list celebrity. I don't understand.
Like, and again, like Harry Styles, like every single time he posts a picture on Instagram, like he's flooded with comments that are like, oh my god, I love you. Like,
yeah, sure.
And I'm sure Louis C.K. probably also has women that
throw themselves at him. He and Harry Styles have a lot of commonalities.
The exact same. But yeah, I'm sure that there are women that might just want Louis because of his fame.
Louis, for sure.
So,
probably the vast majority of them.
Which is fine. And, like, some people might be genuinely attracted to him. Like, that's fine. But I don't feel like it's his responsibility.
No.
But also, I do understand, like, if my boss made an advance on me, I'd be super uncomfortable and I wouldn't know how to say no while still preserving my career.
Sure.
So it is, like, a really bad position to put somebody in, so I do understand it from both sides, but I don't feel like he should have been, like, massacred like he was.
Right. Nor do I think... Right. A lot of people called him a rapist.
Yeah.
You can say it's not... First of all, I don't think there's really, from my understanding of the situation, I don't think there was any problem with what he did, because it's not like he didn't organize this comedy show. He didn't do anything of that nature, so I don't really know.
And he didn't, like, prey on these women.
No, he said, and so kind of to what you're saying, right? So seamless editing. So anyway,
they actually have been.
Yeah, no, I'm usually pretty good at it. That was deliberately terrible, but
okay, well.
I'm usually pretty good at fixing it in post. So anyway, the point was, is that these women, Louis C.K. didn't organize it. They're just two comedians performing at this event.
Yeah.
I don't know how closer to being on level footing you can get. Even if he's more successful, you're getting the same gigs. So
I also don't really feel like that's if you...
So to your point of the whole, I don't know if these were young girls with the Johnny Epstein thing, Jimmy E. Then I don't know. But if say these women are even if they're 25 and Louis says, "Hey, you want to come up and have a couple drinks in my hotel room?" I don't know what you're expecting to happen.
Yeah. Don't say yes to that.
Right.
And
if a man you've maybe they knew him, I don't know, but from what I thought I saw at some point, man you've really never met before invites you up to his hotel
I'm not
room.
going.
Right. Or go with him if you want to have sex with him.
Yeah.
Fine.
I think a lot of that, like, a lot of women are kind of, like, taught to look out for stuff like that. And, I mean, I might be overly cautious, but to me, that's, like, 100% you know what you're doing. Like, I was watching a show called Modern Love on Netflix, and...
What's it called?
Modern Love.
Modern Love?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was, like, you know the bipolar girl that I was telling you about?
Nope.
I showed you videos about peaches. There was, like, a theme of peaches in that story, and I got excited about it. And she was bipolar, and I told you.
Played by, don't tell me, I'll get it, Anne Hathaway.
Yes.
Genius.
Beautiful. And in that, there was a story about a girl who went home with one of her...
She is a story about, I remember, Good. Sorry, you're right. When she smiles. Good. How many days in a year? Come on, Jessica.
Stop?
You have to talk, or else I have to keep going.
It's really hard for me to talk when you interrupt me with these songs. I know that you love it.
Yeah.
But it brings me pain.
All right. When she smiles. Good.
I couldn't smile.
You're smiling right now.
Fuck you. So, anyway, yep, see, it really ruins the flow of this podcast.
Peaches, Anne Hathaway. There's a subplot.
So there's a girl who basically, like, has daddy issues, and she has a coworker at work that is, like, he reminds her of her dead father. And she basically, like, he invites her over for dinner, and she and her friend are debating whether or not it's a date, and she's like, I don't know, and the friend's like, it's a date, like, you're gonna fuck this dude, and she's like, I don't know, we'll see. And, like, he asks her to cuddle at one point on his bed, and then, like, way later, spoiler alert, he's like, what the fuck did you think we were doing? And she's like, I thought we were just cuddling, like, cute cuddling. And he was like, what? Like, why would you cuddle a man at his house on his bed if you didn't want to fuck it? Like, so I think there are a lot of women that are, like, really naive or just don't. I think it's better to be safe than sorry, and it's better to be overly suspicious of men instead of trusting. Why are you smiling?
I'm not going to break out into song again, but just know that I could, and I'm choosing not to.
You can, just let me finish a sentence. Like, don't interrupt me mid-thought.
It has to be when you do it, or else people forget why I'm doing it.
I get it.
You don't get it.
No, I do, but then try to just use the end of my, like, the last...
It's spontaneous, Jess. That's not how it works. I'm saying I'm not doing it.
Thanks.
You're welcome, you fucking ingrate. Just gonna start doing it again.
Okay. So anyway, I was surprised, it just, to me, I was like, this girl's an idiot. And again, not to victim blame, but also, like, you need to be smart, because it's like, obviously the solution to rape is to teach men not to rape. It's not to teach women.
I mean, if you just don't dress the way you dress, maybe that would fix the problem.
But that's the thing.
You say that a lot more than I do. I don't think I've ever actually genuinely thought that.
Listen, though, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Is that obviously the cure to rape is to teach men not to rape. Obviously. But in the meantime, don't fucking, like, you can't wear clothes like that because men are going to fucking rape you. And it's like, it's not your fault because of what you're wearing, but also,
oh boy.
There was a museum that had rape victims, like, and there was a display of the outfit that they were wearing when they were raped to show that, like, women get raped in sweatpants. Women
Not a lot of overalls.
Well, there were some. There was actually something
rape
like that. There was, like, a jumpsuit.
overalls?
You hold them down and you rip off their clothes like you would their pants.
How do you rip off denim?
Anyway.
How do you rip off overalls? That's not happening.
Anyway.
Overalls, I'm going to say right now, overalls are rape proof.
And I'm going to say something that's going to make you very sad,
Sure.
but there was, like, a little girl's, like, a little toddler dress,
That
too.
does make me sad, Thank you.
But anyway, so...
Why would you have to say that?
Because I want this to be impactful, you know? Like, it's
I don't
sad.
think you need it to be impactful if the argument you're about to make is that if you don't dress like a whore, you're not going to get raped.
I obviously have gone out to, like, bars and parties and stuff in revealing clothing.
Yeah.
And I have every fucking right to do that and not get raped because it's insanity to think that anyone would ever have the right to rape me.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, unfortunately, the world that we live in, like, it's the same thing with, like, the whole Black Lives Matter movement going on, where it's like, should black people have to act really mousy around police officers? no, but police officers are corrupt and they're going to fucking kill you. So when you're faced with a police officer, as a black person, you should be very subservient because that's the world that we live in right now.
I wonder how you would do if you had to spend a day as a woman.
What?
I wonder what it would be like if you could
You know that I'm a woman, right?
Then I don't know where this is coming from.
No, I mean...
You go to bars dressed, no offense, like a whore.
Sure. Thank you.
You're welcome. You, I think, would take umbrage with someone raping you.
Obviously. But if someone, like...
Someone rapes you, are you going to say, well, I guess I asked for it?
If someone says, hey, come with me to the back of the bar, or, like, outside in the back by the alley or whatever, I would say absolutely fucking not.
You do stupid shit like that all the time.
I don't.
You probably, let's say you go to the bar with your friends twice a month.
Yeah.
Maybe once every 6 weeks, I pick you up and you tell me some story about, oh yeah, there was this guy and we went and we to the bar and then he gave us free drinks and then he talked to us for 2 hours and then we went outside with him and then something happened and then we got pizza and then...
That has literally never happened.
Jessica, oh my God. Okay, go. Okay. Go
Absolutely
ahead.
not.
Just keep lying to the listeners.
I think there's obviously when I dress like a whore, I understand the fact that some crazy person could be out there.
3:38 p.m., dear readers.
Like, some crazy person could be out there with the intention of rape. And they would pick someone in revealing clothing probably over someone not, I guess. Sure. I don't really know how rapist minds work, but I'm just saying, like, you have to understand, there's the element of, like, no one should ever rape you no matter what you're doing or wearing or what your personality is or who you associate with. You should never be raped, obviously. But because the world is not perfect and because people do rape, you should take precautions, even though you shouldn't have to. Sadly, you do have to. And you know, if you want to dress like a whore, that's fine. Have a buddy with you. Don't go into an alley alone with a man. Don't, Anyway, so I don't mean to victim blame these Jeffrey Epstein girls, but a lot of them did make decisions.
Jeremy Epstein, Jess. You know this.
I think a lot of the women, like they said, like a lot of them were like, oh, I didn't feel worthy, or like I liked the attention, or I was coming from nothing and I needed the money. Like, those are all, like, I understand that he's manipulating these girls who were desperate and that was shitty and that he ruined their lives and that's not okay.
Yeah.
But I think some of the women too just, I don't know, like, I think there is an element of, like, you letting yourself get manipulated.
Okay. Interesting.
Because you can always just say no.
Yeah.
And, like, he would let them go. Like, he would molest them, and then they'd be like... And if they said no, he would let them go. Like, it wasn't like he would rape women up until... I think eventually he started raping women. Like, especially... Some of the women said, like, once he brought them to the island, he would just rape flat out. Yeah. Which, obviously, completely not okay. They also shouldn't have gone on the island with him. Like, I get it. And, like, it is really nice that this guy can pay for your education. But you're making that decision. You're saying... oh no, I won't be able to go to college unless I perform sexual acts on this man for money. You're making that choice too. Yeah. I don't know, like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I have a lot of opinions about it, and I'm very conflicted because I do see the side of, like,
how long was this
and none of these women ran away, and all of these women kept coming back.
Well, how long was this documentary?
I don't know, probably like 5 or 6 hours.
You watched the whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think there were like 5 episodes, and I think they were an hour each.
Okay, interesting. It's an interesting... the takeaway that you took away seems to be that Jeffrey Epstein did nothing wrong.
No.
Okay.
No.
Oh, don't yell at me.
My takeaway is that Jeffrey Epstein is a goddamn fucking monster, and all of his friends are complete pieces of garbage, and the fact that they're all protecting each other... what he did was absolutely wrong, and all of the girls' stories were so hard to hear, and it was so sad, and he destroyed... Like I said, like, there was one girl that specifically was, like, saying, like, oh, like, before I met Jeffrey Epstein, I was, and she was, like, trying to find the words, and she started crying, and she just had her heads in her hand, she had her
fist in her mouth.
She had her head in her hands.
I gotcha.
And she was like, before I met him, I was just something else, something different. And it was just so sad that she, like, views herself now, or, like, post Jeffrey Epstein, as, like, a thing now. And she's like, she doesn't feel like she has any worth, and she feels like she was destroyed, and she compared herself to, like, a flower that was just in bloom, and now he crumpled it up and stepped on it, and now she's nothing. And
it's still a flower.
Yeah, but I don't think she saw it like that.
That's too bad.
And obviously, like, some of the women came out of it with drug addictions, they came out of it with eating disorders, they came out of it with cutting issues and stuff. Like, it really fucked up these women in a way that's not okay. No young girl, like, I was thinking, like, if I, as you know, I didn't start having sex until I was kind of old, and I think if someone had molested me,
sure,
I don't even know, like, I was so unbelievably not ready, as I'm sure a lot of these girls were. I couldn't even imagine having someone, especially someone that I respected and someone that I looked at as, like, an adult that I, you know...
want to emulate the behavior of.
Well, one, that you want to emulate, and two, that you trust. Like, you assume that adults know what they're doing and that they have your best interest. Like, I don't think I've ever... Anyway, and you want, like, a role model, and you want, like, a father figure or whatever, and to have someone abuse that trust is disgusting. So I think that what Jeffrey Epstein did, and the fact that he was preying on girls that were, like, he would find the fault in a girl and then he would use that to control her and to keep her, that's obviously wrong.
Sure.
Doing anything with underage girls is wrong. You know, another thing too that I was thinking of is that they were all minors. Where were their parents? Like, these girls would come back.
Tell me, man. You watched the 6-hour documentary.
They didn't mention it at all, and I was like, he's taking these women to private islands, and he's paying for their education and stuff. Like, what are the kids' parents doing that they're letting their children, like, that's another...
For $200, that's why I keep coming back to. I don't understand. If you have look, if it works, and it worked for him for presumably decades, I don't know. If it works, I'm not going to tell you that you need to fix your system, and you need to pay $10,000 for something you're getting for $200, fine. But I don't know how... He must have had a sensei or something that taught him. But I think
he was going after really poor women.
But even, I don't know how poor, unless you live in a slum in Bangladesh, I don't know how $200 could be sort of life-changing money. Wherein, if
$200 a day?
Well, yeah, maybe that's fair. But I didn't realize it was a daily thing. Yeah,
I think they can come back as often as they want. Like, they would work out schedules, and they would have regular girls that he would
that's
bring in.
5 days a week.
And every referral.
$50,000 a year. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I guess that's fair.
Additionally, again, like, it was kind of the whole...
But
he made them feel special.
But
he paid for stupid bullshit.
If he's a billionaire, which is what people keep referring to him as, you could spend easily tens of thousands of dollars a day. I don't know how I would think this would consume... I don't think you can be a casual child rapist. And it seems by all accounts that he was not. He had this ring. He had a special island and a jet dedicated to fucking these children.
Yeah,
I don't know how he had time to do anything else.
That I feel like a lot of people that are pedophiles, like, they try their absolute best to not fuck kids.
Well,
and I think that's why, like, child
seemed
porn...
like he went the other way with it.
Yeah, like, it's crazy to me that he would have said, I'm going to dedicate my entire life to having sex with children.
I'm going to become the fucking Beethoven of fucking kids.
It's crazy. And he was like...
I'm going to be the Muhammad Ali. There's no competition.
And, like, all of these rich and powerful men were like, fucking sick, this is nice. Like, why would they have not...
Dope.
Like, Bill Clinton, like, he was our fucking president.
Sure. Our current president. Good friends with Jeffrey Epstein.
Well... He's an absolute piece of shit. Like, it does not surprise me that he's also a child molester.
Well,
absolutely.
No better or worse than Bill Clinton, it seems.
And that's the thing, like, Bill Clinton...
Two of the last 4 presidents.
Like, it's insane. It's honestly insane that a U.S. president... Like, if you took Barack Obama and you showed him a child molestation ring, he would shut that shit down. He would report everyone. He would, like... Ugh, my God. Any decent man...
Sure. But here we are.
It's absurd. It's honestly, like, whatever. So, yes, I do not mean to victim blame, and I think what he did was absolutely terrible, and obviously, like, I feel like these poor girls, even if they did give consent, and they were like, oh, whatever, like, I think they might not have known what they were giving consent to, and they might have felt, and like he did threaten some of them, and I would be scared too. And there was one girl who gave her sister to him, and she was raped.
Boy.
The girl herself was raped, and then she still gave her sister to him.
Well, listen.
And she was like, I thought that he was only raping me. I thought that he was raping no other women. It was just me.
Look, sibling rivalry is complicated.
It's just, it's crazy to me. Like, even if she thought this man is only raping me, she still gave her sister to a...
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway.
This seems like as good a place as any to stop.
Does it?
Well, we've been going for almost an hour, so...
Oh, Jesus. Look, I don't know how to recover from this.
Okay. See you later, pod racers.
Yep.